Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Irfan sir here. I am going to start a series of video lectures in which we will be discussing MCQs, and at the same time we will be discussing concepts related with the questions. The aim is to help the NEET aspirants. It will be also helpful for 11th and 12th classes as well. So let's get started. First, we will take some portion from 12th class and then we will switch over to the 11th class as well. सो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं हम. बेस्ट 25 जो नीड बेस्ड होंगे. इट विल बी वेरी इफेक्टिव लर्निंग, क्विक लर्निंग. यू विल बी एबल टू फ्रेश अप योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स वेरी फास्ट. तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 से. तो फर्स्ट वी हैव टेकन द पोर्शन फ्रॉम द 12th क्लास, दैट इज़ ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन. सो हियर इज़ द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. तो इसमें हमें 3 फिलअप्स को फिल करना है. वी हैव टू फिल द 3 ब्लैंक्स. जो क्वेश्चन है वो रीड करता है द डैश लीड टू वास्ट डिफरेंस दैट एसेंड्स टू द डैश एंड लूप्स ओवर डैश. सो दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. तो इसके लिए हमें यहाँ पे से फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे टेस्टिस बनाया हमने. ठीक. तो वी नो दैट यहाँ से जो ट्यूब्स निकलते हैं, द ट्यूब्यूल्स विच कम आउट फ्रॉम द टेस्टिस, दे आर कॉल्ड इफरेंट ट्यूब्यूल्स. सो दीज आर द इफरेंट ट्यूब्यूल्स. इफरेंट ट्यूब्यूल्स जो बाहर निकलते हैं, दे गिव राइज टू epididymis. So this is epididymis, and epididymis it loops upwards and forms a duct that is called a different duct, or that is called a vas deferens. And this different duct, it goes into the abdomen through the inguinal canal, and in the abdomen it loops over the urinary bladder there. So accordingly we search the option which is the best option for this. So it is the option right here is option B. So because where from the vas deferens, where from it arises? It arises from the epididymis, right? And then it goes into the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder there. So the right answer is epididymis, abdomen, urinary bladder. That's option B. Let's move to the next question. The question second, it is a factual question. The enlarged end of male copulatory organ is covered by loose fold of skin. And what is that loose fold of skin called? That loose fold of skin is called foreskin, and it is also called as prepuce. इसको हम prepuce भी बोलते हैं. Foreskin is also called as prepuce. So the right answer is option B. Let's move to the third question. The third question reads, which of the following is a transporting tube leading from the bladder to which brings urine outside the body via male copulatory organ penis? So which tube collects urine and brings it to outside? See, so for example it's here urinary bladder here. यहाँ पे मान लीजिए urinary bladder है, ठीक है. What arises from the neck of the bladder? It is UB, urinary bladder. What arises from the neck of the bladder is urethra. So it is urethra here which arises, and it collects the urine from the urinary bladder. And urethra is the terminal part of the male reproductive system, and it brings urine outside the body, right? And it also brings basically the germinal secretions also outside the body. So it's a common urinogenital tract, genital secretion as well as urine. So the right answer for this question is option D, that is urethral meatus or urethra. Urethral meatus is also a part of the urethra. Now moving to the question 4th. Question 4, it reads, vasa efferentia are the ductules leading from. So vasa efferentia जो है ये कहाँ से निकलते हैं? Again, say for example testes here, and I did mention these are the efferent tubules here, and which give rise to the epididymis, and then there is a different duct. Now the question asks where from these efferent ductules or tubules come from. ये कहाँ से निकलते हैं? See, देखिए बेटा यहाँ पे these are the testicular lobules. If you remember, testicular lobules के अंदर होते हैं seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules से निकलते हैं straight ducts, right? Seminiferous tubules give rise to a straight ducts, and those straight ducts, they form a network of tubes. They form a network of tubes. They are called as rete testes. Rete testes उनको हम बोलते हैं. We call those as rete testes. Fine. So this is a testicular lobule here, TL, testicular lobule, and inside there is seminiferous tubule, ST, seminiferous tubule, and from this ST arises a straight duct. और इस straight duct को हम क्या बोलते हैं? This straight duct is called tubula recti. tubuli recti, and from the tubuli recti there arises a network of tubes which is called as rete testes, and rete testes on the superior side they give rise to what? Efferent tubules. So the right option for the question number 4, it is option C, that is rete testes, and then via epididymis it give rise to a different duct. Fine. Move to the question number 5. The question 5, it reads a sac shaped, it is actually a sac like structure which is pear shaped, thick lining, muscular, that is present in the pelvic area, and where the fertilizer egg or zygote comes to grow into a baby. What is that structure called? And it is very clear, this is uterus, because uterus is a thick, it is thick walled, it is highly muscular, and here the embryonic development completes, here the embryo gets implanted, right? And that after completion of the embryonic development the fetus is formed. So it's very simple. Next question हम पढ़ते हैं यहाँ पे. Question है, which of the following is a finger like structure and lies at the upper junction of the two labia above the urethral opening? See, in females there is external genitalia, there is labia minora, labia majora, there is vestibule also there, and now on the superior side of the two labia there is a finger like projection. Of course that is a finger like projection, and it is also erectile tissue there. What is that erectile or a finger like projection called? That is of course called as clitoris. इसको हम clitoris बोलते हैं. It is homologous to male copulatory organ in case of males. It is present in the females, and the homologous in male is male copulatory organ penis. Fine. So moving to the next question. Question 7th. Which of the following produce sperms in spermatogenesis? Sperms कहाँ से बनती हैं spermatogenesis process में? So the first option is Sertoli cells. No way, Sertoli cells are the somatic cells. यहाँ से तो नहीं बनती है. They are the somatic cells. They are the nourishing cells. They are the nursing cells, supportive cells. Interstitial cells. Interstitial cells में से जो cell होती है, that is called as a Leydig cell. And Leydig cell is an endocrine cell because it secretes a testosterone. You already know. Primary spermatocytes, and the last option is immature male germ cells. Immature male germ cells because they are immature and they are not going to form. So the right answer is primary spermatocytes. So primary spermatocytes, they give rise to male gametes, that is sperm cells. Let's have a look, try to understand here. Initially हमारे पास क्या होती है? PGCs, primordial germ cells. Primordial germ cells, when once the spermatogenesis starts on the onset of puberty in case of males, the primordial germ cells, they divide mitotically and they form many types of stem cells. Type 1 spermatogonia, type 2 spermatogonia. So there are many stem cells which are formed. Eventually there is type B which is formed. Type B spermatogonia is formed, and this type B spermatogonia, it undergoes growth phase and it forms primary spermatocyte. After undergoing the growth phase, it forms primary spermatocyte, and it is primary spermatocyte which undergoes a maturation phase, that is meiosis first and meiosis second, and eventually leading to the formation of the sperms. So the right answer is primary spermatocytes. I hope it's clear. Yeah. Moving to the question 8th. In the process of spermatogenesis, first maturation division is called. तो spermatogenesis जो एक process है मेल्स में होता है, गमीटोजेनेसिस है, इसमें मेल गमीट बनता है. तो पहले मैचुरेशन डिवीजन को हम क्या बोलते हैं? देखिए, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. फर्स्ट मैचुरेशन डिवीजन, वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट जो स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस होता है इसको हम डिवाइड करते हैं स्पर्मेटिरोजेनेसिस एंड स्पर्मियोजेनेसिस में. स्पर्मेटिरोजेनेसिस एंड स्पर्मियोजेनेसिस. स्पर्मेटिरोजेनेसिस मीन्स फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्पर्मेटिड्स, और इसको या इन अदर वर्ड्स वी कैन से स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस वी डिवाइड इनटू 3 फेज. नंबर 1 इज कॉल्ड एज मल्टीप्लिकेशन फेज, राइट. नंबर 2 को हम बोलते हैं ग्रोथ फेज, ठीक है, और थर्ड को हम बोलते हैं मैचुरेशन फेज. तो अभी मैंने आपको बता दिया कि जो मल्टीप्लिकेशन फेज में जो सेल इवेंचुअली बनती है, दैट्स टाइप बी स्पर्मेटोगोनिया. टाइप बी स्पर्मेटोगोनिया, ठीक है. टाइप बी स्पर्मेटोगोनिया अंडरगोज ग्रोथ फेज, इट फॉर्म्स प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट. प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट नाउ अंडरगोज विच फेज? दैट इज मैचुरेशन फेज. मैचुरेशन फेज हमारे पास जो है, मैचुरेशन फेज इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड मियोटिक फेज. एंड मियोसिस वी नो इट इज मियोसिस फर्स्ट and it is meiosis second, right? So accordingly the maturation phase can be called as maturation phase first, that is meiosis first, and maturation phase second, that is meiosis second. Now the question जो हमें बता रहा है फर्स्ट मैचुरेशन डिवीजन को हम क्या बोलते हैं. सो फर्स्ट मैचुरेशन डिवीजन जो है इट कोइंसाइड्स विद meiosis फर्स्ट, तो इसको meiosis फर्स्ट बोलेंगे. बट नो वे, द आंसर्स आर द ऑप्शंस, देयर इज meiosis फर्स्ट. नाउ वी नो, this is very important question, meiosis first is called a reduction division. we know it is called as a reductional division, because meiosis first में chromosome number reduced to half होता है, तो इसलिए meiosis first के बदले में इन्होंने क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे, reduction division. So meiosis first is reductional division. That's very important. So meiosis first is called as reductional division. So right option for this question is reduction division. Very important question. It can be asked in NEET. Very important question, because you will find first the student get confused. What is a first maturation division? So nothing to worry. First maturation division means here meiosis first, and then meiosis first is nowhere in the options. Then we need to look into the meiosis first is also called reduction division. So the right answer is reduction division. Moving to the question number 9. Spermatids are transformed into sperm by a process called, yeah, that's what I was just telling you. The process of spermatogenesis is divided into two phases: spermatidogenesis, right, and spermiogenesis. Spermatidogenesis में spermatids बनते हैं, 4 spermatids बनते हैं, and these spermatids they are transformed into sperm by a process called spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis में spermatids they develop into a functional male gametes that is called as sperm cells. So the right answer for this question is spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis is also called spermatilosis. Spermiogenesis को हम spermatilosis भी बोलते हैं. This is question number 9. Right answer is spermiogenesis. Fine. Moving to the next question. In human, male germ cells differentiate into dash at the end of first meiotic division. Again listen. फर्स्ट म्योटिक डिवीजन में कौन सी सेल जाती है? अभी मैंने समझा आपको, टाइप बी स्पर्मेटोगोनिया अंडरगोज मियोसिस फर्स्ट. Type B spermatogonia undergoes growth phase. Exactly, it undergoes growth phase and it forms primary spermatocyte. And primary spermatocyte undergoes meiosis first. This is very important point. So male germ cells differentiate into dash at the end of the first meiotic division. तो primary spermatocyte जब first meiotic division करती है तो वहाँ पे जो 2 haploid cells बनती है उनको हम बोलते हैं secondary spermatocytes. So this is one and this is another secondary spermatocyte. So the right answer is secondary spermatocyte. Here again very important point. Two things are very important here to mention. So it means जो primary spermatocyte है, primary spermatocyte is diploid cell and secondary spermatocyte is haploid cell. So you are asked frequently question in terms of the chromosome number, whether cells are haploid or diploid. So first meiotic division is the reduction division. जब प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट मियोसिस फर्स्ट करेगी तो वहाँ पे क्रोमोसोम नंबर रिड्यूस टू हाफ हो जाएगा, तो सेकेंडरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट जो होगी दैट विल बी द हैप्लॉइड सेल, बट प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट विच अंडरगोज मियोसिस फर्स्ट इज ऑफ कोर्स इट इज डिप्लॉइड सेल. फाइन. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. तो इसमें हैप्लॉइड डिप्लॉइड में भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है या फेज के बारे में भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है. क्वेश्चन 11 रीड्स, इंक्रीज सिक्रेशन ऑफ विच हार्मोन स्टार्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ स्पर्म फॉर्मेशन एट द एंड ऑफ द प्यूबर्टी. फाइन. लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन. देखिए कौन सा हार्मोन निकलता है, किसकी सिक्रेशन, किस हार्मोन की सिक्रेशन की वजह से प्रोसेस स्पर्म फॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट होता है एट द टाइम ऑफ द प्यूबर्टी. व्हेन द मेल दे सेट फुट इनटू द प्यूबर्टी, व्हिच हार्मोन ट्रिगर्स द प्रोसेस ऑफ द spermatogenesis? Of course, first option is growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone is second option, B option, C is prolactin and the third is, and the D option is gonadotropin releasing hormone, GnRH. We know that hypothalamus से निकलता है GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. ठीक है. And this gonadotropin releasing hormone it acts on anterior pituitary. ये anterior pituitary पे act करता है, and once it acts on the anterior pituitary से निकलता है gonadotropins. Gonadotropins are released from the anterior pituitary, and we know the gonadotropins are 2 FSH and it is LH. So under the influence of these two hormones FSH and LH, the process of the spermatogenesis starts, especially the FSH hormone. LH hormone जो है it acts on the Leydig cell. जो अभी मैंने बताया Leydig cell जो होती है एंडोक्राइन सेल होती है, और यहाँ से Leydig cell से निकलता है टेस्टोस्टेरोन, राइट. तो Leydig cell secretes एंड्रोजन दैट इज कॉल्ड टेस्टोस्टेरोन, एंड FSH it acts on basically, ये किस पे एक्ट करता है, it acts on Sertoli cells. FSH acts on Sertoli cells, and Sertoli cells secrete ABP. Sertoli cells क्या secrete करती है, ABP, androgen binding protein, right? And this ABP it binds with the testosterone and makes its effective secretion possible in the seminiferous tubule, so that the spermatogenesis will start. So the right option for this question is D option, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. So hypothalamus secretes gonadotropin releasing hormone, which in turn acts on anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary release gonadotropins, which is FSH and LH. LH acts on the Leydig cells to secrete the testosterone, and FSH acts on Sertoli cells to secrete the ABP. ABP binds with testosterone and makes its effective secretion possible in the seminiferous tubule, so that the normal process of the spermatogenesis starts. Moving to the next question, that is question 12. After birth, colostrum is released from mammary glands, which is rich in. You know that colostrum, it is also called as a first milk, or it is also called as a fore milk. इसको आप फोर मिल्क भी बोलते हैं, या इसको आप फर्स्ट मिल्क भी बोलते हैं, राइट. इसका कंपोजिशन क्या होता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ दीज ऑप्शंस? फर्स्ट ऑप्शन रीड्स fat and low in proteins, proteins and low in fat, proteins, antibodies and low in fat, proteins, fat and low in antibodies. Right answer for this question is option C. This 4 milk or colostrum or first milk, it is rich in proteins, antibodies, but it is low in fat and it is low in also sugars. इसमें शुगर भी कम होता है, इसमें फैट भी कम होता है, but it is rich in proteins and antibodies. Again, this is interesting point, can be asked a factual question. Moving to the next question, that is question number 13. Question 13 reads, which of the following hormone maintains the function of male sex accessory gland and ducts? Which hormone? We know that in the male there is a prostate gland, seminal vesicle, and there is Cowper's gland. Their secretion, combined secretion, is called seminal plasma. Their combined secretion, इनकी combined secretion को बोलते हैं seminal plasma. And once sperm cells get concentrated in this fluid, the combined secretion is called semen. Fine. So the health of these glands, the health of the ducts of these glands is very important. And under which hormone the function of male sex accessory gland and ducts basically are maintained? Of course, it is androgen, like testosterone. So androgens basically keep these glands and their secretions and their ducts healthy. So the right answer is option D, that is androgen. Estrogen is a female sex hormone. Progesterone again from the female, and luteinizing hormone is anterior pituitary hormone, and I did mention it stimulates Leydig cells to release the testosterone. It has also other functions in case of females, but in the male I did mention it, luteinizing hormone, it basically stimulates the Leydig cell to secrete the testosterones, and testosterone in turn maintains these sex glands and their ducts. Moving to the next question. Semen is a constituent of seminal plasma with. देखिए अभी मैंने आपको समझाया seminal plasma with, इसमें बेसिकली semen जो होता है इसमें क्या क्या होता है अभी मैंने समझा आपको. Semen is combined secretion of what? तो semen is combined secretion of two things. Number one, sperm cells, and number second is seminal plasma. So the right answer is sperm cells. So very simple. Moving to the next question. Ejaculation of human male contains about 200 to 300 million sperms, of which normal fertility dash percentage sperms must have normal shape and size, and at least dash percentage must show energetic motility. So simply the question says, what is the criteria, what is the requirement for the normal fertility? What percentage of sperms must have normal shape and size, and what percentage of sperms must have normal motility or energetic motility, right? So the option first is 40%, 60%, 50-50, 60-40, and the D option reads 30% and 70%. So now the right answer for this is 60%. 60% sperms must have normal shape and size, and 40% must have the vibrant, the energetic, that is motility, that is a movement. So 60% normal shape and size and 40% energetic motility. So the right answer इसका जो है वो है C part, that is C option. ठीक है. Now moving to the next question. Which of the following stage of oogenesis forms a membrane called zona pellucida surrounding it? So zona pellucida, it's a glycoprotein. It is formed by the combined secretion of oocyte as well as the follicular cells. Now oogonia is not the good option. Right option. Polar body, no way. Corpus luteum, no. The right option is secondary oocyte, because secondary oocyte is there formed and it is surrounded by so many follicular cells, multi-layered follicular cells. तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे सेकेंडरी oocyte के जस्ट प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के बाहर हम देखेंगे, वहाँ पे ग्लाइकोप्रोटीन क्लियर होती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड जोना पेलिसुडा। 17th question. By which process sperms released from the seminiferous tubule? Now, what is the process known as by which the sperm cells are released from the seminiferous tubules once they are formed? So, it's a factual question. Remember the right answer. It is spermiation. Spermiation is a process by which the sperms are released from the seminiferous tubules, by which their attachments with the Sertoli cells, they are cut off and they are released into the duct system of the male. Next question पे जाएंगे. Which of the following contains a fluid-filled cavity called antrum? We know that antrum is a fluid-filled cavity. It is present in the follicle, and the fluid is called a Licker folliculi. So the first option is primary spermatocyte novae. It's the name of the cell. It's not a follicle. Primary follicle of ovary, it is there. Tertiary follicle of ovary, it is follicle. And secondary spermatocyte, it is also a cell. So first and the last, A part and D part, they are irrelevant. Now, primary follicle and the tertiary follicle. In the primary follicle, spaces are there, individual spaces are there, but yet they have not combined to form a single large space. अभी छोटी छोटी space होती है cells के बीच में, ठीक है. ये जो छोटी छोटी spaces होती है, they coalesce with each other, they combine with each other and they form a large space, and that large space is called what? उसको हम antrum बोलते हैं. So it means it will be like this. अभी छोटी छोटी cells, छोटी छोटी स्पेस आपस में मिलकर एक बड़ी स्पेस बनाते हैं, जिसको हम एंट्रम बोलते हैं. सो द राइट आंसर इज टर्शियरी फॉलिकल ऑफ ओवरी, राइट, एंड दिस कंटेन्स अ फ्लूइड एंड दैट फ्लूइड इज कॉल्ड लिकर फॉलिकुलाई. Moving to the next question, that is 19th. Menstruation is triggered by a sudden decline in the amount of hormone secreted by corpus luteum. Identify the hormone. Menstruation is triggered by a sudden decline in the amount of hormone. किसी हार्मोन के डिक्लाइन होने की वजह से menstruation और this menstrual part of the menstrual cycle, bleeding phase or menstrual phase, it starts, and that hormone is secreted by the corpus luteum. वो कौन सा हार्मोन होता है? देखिए बेटा, ये सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, बट आपको पता होना चाहिए. कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम जो है, इट इज फॉर्म्ड बाय द लेफ्ट ओवर ऑफ द Graafian follicle. When the Graafian follicle ruptures, the leftover of the follicle, it develops into corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum, it secretes progesterone, and this progesterone, it is very important. This progesterone is very important to maintain the health of the uterus, so that uterus will prepare itself for the implantation, for housing, for accommodating the embryo. So corpus luteum secretes, it's clear, it secretes progesterone. कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम जो है वो कौन सा हार्मोन रिलीज करता है? प्रोजेस्टेरोन रिलीज करता है, ठीक है. नाउ मेंस्ट्रुएशन कब ट्रिगर होती है? जब प्रोजेस्टेरोन, जब कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम डिजेनरेट होता है. जब ये डिजेनरेट हो जाएगा, प्रोजेस्टेरोन सिक्रीशन इज नॉट देयर, ये स्टॉप हो जाएगी, एंड नो मोर द हेल्थ ऑफ द यूट्रस इज मेंटेन्ड नाउ. And then whatever the preparations are already done with the uterine wall by the progesterone, they start degenerating. वो degenerate हो जाता है, and that degenerating tissue and plus the blood, that together basically sets in the phase in the menstrual cycle or reproductive cycle, that's called a menstrual phase, right? And that triggers basically the menstruation. तो corpus luteum से जो हार्मोन निकलता है प्रोजेस्टेरोन is important to make uterine wall thick, to make uterine wall more vascular, to make uterine wall edematous, swollen, to make uterine wall more nutritious, secretes more secretion of uterine glands. So all these preparations are done under the influence of the progesterone hormone, and once the progesterone hormone secretion stops due to the degeneration of the corpus luteum, hence it will trigger the menstruation. And when CP, corpus luteum, will start degeneration, when it receives no message, no signal from the embryo, means when the fertilization does not take place. See, when the fertilization occurs, zygote is formed. Zygote releases a hormone that's called as HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. Human chorionic gonadotropin is the signal molecule for the corpus luteum that fertilization is taking place, so that a CP, corpus luteum, can extend its life for 3 to 4 months. And during this period of 3 to 4 months, progesterone secretion is released. But when there is no fertilization, no zygote formation, no signal molecule, Hence corpus luteum, it degenerates, it starts degenerating. Fine. And when it starts degenerating, just after 10 to 12 days, progesterone secretion stops, and that triggers the process of the menstruation. तो आपका रिवाइज भी हो रहा है साथ साथ, कॉन्सेप्ट्स भी क्लियर हो रहे हैं साथ साथ. Moving towards the next question. Question 20th. Level of which hormone are at their highest during the luteal phase, second half of the cycle of the menstrual cycle? देखिए, simple. Menstrual cycle 1, 14, 28. This is the second half of the cycle. This is the first half of the cycle. Question is asking about which hormone is at its peak during the second half of the cycle. And question आपको ये भी बता रहा है luteal phase, and luteal phase is also called a secretory phase. And during the secretory phase or luteal phase, which hormone is at its peak? It is of course progesterone, because it is during the second half of the menstrual cycle uterus becomes more thick, more nutritive, more swollen, more edematous. Fine. Under the influence of the progesterone. So progesterone is at its peak during the second half, during the luteal phase, during the secretory phase of the menstrual cycle. Next question पे जाते हैं. Question 21st. Which phase of menstrual cycle is also called proliferative phase? Proliferative phase is basically proliferative phase is the first half of the cycle. Proliferative phase is the first half of the cycle. And proliferative phase is also called follicular phase, during which the endometrium starts division, it starts getting thicker, right, under the influence of estrogen hormone during the first phase of the cycle. And the second phase of the cycle is secretory phase, and there the progesterone takes over the function to make endometrium prepare for the embryonic development. Fine. So follicular phase, proliferative phase is also called as follicular phase. So it's simple. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे जाते हैं. विच फेज ऑफ मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड सिक्रेटरी फेज? सिक्रेटरी फेज को भी आपको बताया मैंने, इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज ल्यूटियल फेज. इट्स कॉल्ड एज ल्यूटियल फेज बिकॉज हियर द एंडोमेट्रियम स्टार्ट्स dividing, becoming thicker very drastically under the influence of the hormone called as progesterone. So it's simple. Moving to the next question, 23rd. Which of the following indicates pregnancy? Yeah. When the fertilization occurs, pregnancy sets in, implantation has taken place. Which of the following is an indicative for that? Option first, lack of menstruation. Option second, occurrence of menstrual flow. Option third, when released ovum is not fertilized. Option third, when Graafian follicle matures and endometrium regenerates through proliferation. Let me tell you first, the right answer is lack of menstruation, because when the pregnancy sets in, when the zygote formation has taken place, fertilization has taken place, during the entire period of the gestation of 9 months, progesterone hormone must be there, because that's the reason it's called as a pregnancy hormone, because it continuously monitors the health of the uterus, because embryo is there. Uterine wall health is very important for the normal embryonic development. So during the entire phase of the pregnancy, your progesterone hormone must be there. And when progesterone hormone is there, it has a negative feedback on the secretion of FSH as well as LH. It has a negative feedback on the secretion of FSH. Estrogen has also the negative feedback on the FSH. So when there is no FSH, no follicular growth, it means no menstrual cycle can take place. So lack of menstruation is the indicative for the pregnancy. There are other ways to also detect pregnancy, like there is HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. Human chorionic gonadotropin, it is released by the zygote initially. Zygote is a unicellular embryo. So if you're asked what zygote is, it is an embryo, it's a unicellular embryo. And this HCG, it comes into the urine of the female. And there are test kits which can detect the presence of HCG in the urine. And this is also indicative of the pregnancy. But among these options, a lack of menstruation is an indicator for the pregnancy. And the second option is occurrence of menstrual flow, because if there is menstrual flow, it means menstrual cycles is there. It means all the phases are there. It means FSH is there. It means no inhibition. It means no progesterone. It means pregnancy is not there. When released ovum is not fertilized. So when it is not fertilized, it means the next cycle will start. When the Graafian follicle ruptures and endometrium regenerates, so it means again the cycle goes on and starts again. So it's very simple. Moving to the question, 24th question, हम पढ़ेंगे यहाँ पे. When semen is released by the penis into the vagina during copulation, then it is called as. What is that process called? It is simply insemination. So very simple. Not ovulation, not menstruation, not gametogenesis. It is insemination. Very simple. Now moving to the question 25th. At the time of implantation, the human embryo is called. Yeah, this is good question. जब implantation होती है यूट्राइन वॉल में, जब एम्ब्रियो को जाना होता है, उस टाइम किस फेज में वो जाता है? It is blastocyst. Blastocyst is a phase which gets embedded deep into the endometrium, and the implantation starts. Implantation completes there. So blastocyst, it interacts with the wall of the endometrium through receptor, initially through the receptors. Then we know that laminins, integrins, fibronectins, these receptors, they help a blastocyst to get, cling it, to get attached with the wall of the endometrium. Then there are cells called as trophoblast cells. They are very destructive cells, as they release destructive enzymes, and those enzymes will degenerate, will cause destruction of the endometrial cells, so that the embryo blastocyst gets deep embedded into the wall of the endometrium. So this completes all the 25 questions. So now we will come up with another 25 questions or 20 questions in the next video. So if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe my channel, and we will be discussing soon another part, definitely from the 11th portion we will be discussing, so that it will help you to complete, to fresh up your concepts, to learn the new things, to revise the concepts, and to get prepared for your upcoming exams. So it will be very helpful for NEET aspirants, for 11th, for 12th classes as well. So we'll be completing, I will try my best to complete all the chapters through the best 20-25 questions. And in these questions we will be discussing concepts, not only just reading the options and selecting the options. We will discuss some background of each question, so that concepts get revised, so that new things come into your mind. So see you in the next video. Let me stop it here. Allah Hafiz.